Oh my goodness. Oh my God, look at this. This is like a psychedelic. This is like an acid trip right here. Welcome everyone to episode 509 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. I'm going to stop this in a second because it's going to drive me absolutely insane.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Driving me insane. You're tripping you out. You're tripping balls. I know everyone that's going to be turning it. God, turn it off, Papa Swole. Turn it off. All right, fine. Let's see. Let's try this one. This one's popular. A little take. The thing is, my biceps look smooth. They look weird. But I love you. Though. I think this is sweet. I should do the whole episode walking around like this. What do you think? Should I walk around like this? Yeah. Welcome everyone to episode 509. I believe it's 509. I believe it's 509. What's going on? Did I drink mushroom tea? I believe it's 509. I actually forgot right when I went live. It was 508 or 509. I believe it's 509. But you could drop it below. I could be wrong. Does it really matter? Does it really matter? If it's not today, it will be tomorrow. And if it's not tomorrow, it will be the next day, because it's every day live at 12 noon Eastern time. Remember, you can catch all the episodes on YouTube and listen to the podcast, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Check them out. I point as if they're right here, but they're not. Remember also to follow me on Instagram, and you can check me out on Snapchat as well. So your choice of current events. And that's the cool thing about this whole brand, is that it's everywhere. Swolenormous on every single platform, so you can get your fill wherever you need to. So I do it for you. I want to be where you want to be. So you tell me. You tell Papa Swolio. Drop it below. Where do you like to find me? Besides Facebook. Actually, that's the good way to start this episode. Where, besides Facebook, do you like to find Papa Swolio? Where do you like to find Papa Gains? Do you like just Facebook, or do you like YouTube? Do you like following me on Instagram? Where do you follow me besides here? You know what? Let's take this dog for a walk. And it's not a dog, but let's take Papa Swolio for a walk. I feel like I like the movement. What about you, fam? Do you like the movement? Do you like it when I walk around? Do you like it when I kind of get a little bit of the sights? I think that's underrated. This is like the Daily Swole. This is like the walking series. I haven't done a lot of walking episodes recently, but I feel like kind of changing the game up a little bit. You know, every once in a while when I'm doing these shows, it's cool because when I travel, I don't always have like my big dry erase board, but you know, now that's in the car, I just don't feel like taking it out, because today's episode, holy crap. You guys want to see a massive iguana? This was not planned. There's a massive iguana on a window of the house. Check this out. Look at that. Is it big enough? Look at that. This is what happens in Florida. Just massive iguanas on windows. What's up, buddy? I hear like rustling here in the bushes, so I think there's another one. Look at the size of that thing. Look at that. Whoa. All right. Not happy about that. See how fast they are? I think a lot of you watching are probably like shocked. How fast? See how fast that iguana? See how fast that thing is? They're always so fast. They're so skittish. Where is it now? This whole episode just like completely, I lost my train of thought. That was pretty sweet. I see a lot of iguanas. You know, I see a lot of iguanas, but I don't see like, that's a big, bright green one. Fuck, that was nice. So you guys like these walking episodes? You like it when I walk? Or do you, quality content. You guys like it when I walk? Yeah, I think you like the variety, right? Well, put in the comments below, what do you like? And that's what I like about the live streaming, is that the interaction, the commentary. I can get some instant feedback, and I can really pull from what you all want to see. So if you like the walking, more walking. If you like the It depends on the content. I really do feel, personally, I feel like it depends on what we're talking about. This topic today doesn't require a board. It doesn't require, because the thing that I want to get into, and this is a real psychological play here, because I've been getting a lot of messages from you, and these messages kind of all revolve around the same theme. And we talk about getting results, right? So on Instagram, I queued you all up to tell me. Let me take a seat down. Let's say I sit over here. I'm gonna sit right by this little river over here. I was gonna prop the camera up. I was gonna prop the camera up on the bridge here, but then I'm like, if it falls, I trust this bendy tripod, but I trust it I don't trust it that much. I don't trust myself to actually do it right. So here's the thing. I've been getting a lot of messages from all of you, right? I posted a comment on Instagram story. So if you're not following me on Instagram, check me out on IG. And it was about, what is your challenge? What's your biggest challenge? What's your biggest thing that you need to focus on? What's your biggest struggle? Just what sticks out in your mind for you to, that's your bump in the ground, your Achilles heel or something like that, right? And so I asked that question, and the theme from all the answers, and I got so many answers discipline, or struggle with diet, but it was the tone, right? It was the tone in which the answers were given. So it was a tone that I heard. It was just the way the words were written, in the text. And that theme, that I sense was that, and some of you might be watching this, some of you might be having, giving the same answers, on Instagram. This might be one of you, but it was that you're not worth it. Right? I want you to think about that for a second. It was the theme of being worth it. It was the theme of being valuable enough, It was the theme of, even when the questions were about nutrition, it was the theme of being worth the effort. Psychologically, on a self-esteem level, being worth buying something, buying better food, being worth the effort for a workout program, being worth the outcome of having a healthier lifestyle. In some cases, it's okay, your support system with your family or friends or your spouse, whether or not they support you or not, it comes down to whether or not you think you're worth it, and whether that conflict or any kind of issues that result in it is, it comes back to your worth. Because if you're worth it, you'll do it no matter what. So, work and effort is currency. It's time. It's challenging. It doesn't happen overnight, and you have to put that effort in. And it just seemed like a lot of the questions that you all were asking me, and the way you were answering the questions, comes down to self-worth. I think a lot of you don't believe that you're worth the effort. You don't believe that you are worth prioritizing for your family or for your friends. It goes far beyond training for now. And I'm editing a video that I made recently that I think is fire, and I hope to post it up here on Facebook today, and a clip on Instagram. I really want to get this video out there, because it kind of touches upon these things. You know how I always say, fitness is not a lifestyle, fitness is life. It's for the long haul. It's the longevity. Yeah, it's not for now, it's forever. It's forever. It's for the long play. And oh, thank you so much. I see everyone liking, and I see the shares popping up. So thank you so much for sharing the show. It comes down to self-worth. And when you think about this in terms of, are you worth it? When you think about this in terms of, are you worth the effort? When you think of this, are you worth the gym membership? Are you worth the organic food? Whatever it is. Things come into play a little bit easier. If you feel like you're worth it, you'll do it. Things don't seem that overbearing. Things don't seem that, I want to say, challenging. Things don't seem that unattainable. It's something that you can achieve. It's something that you can have. It's something that that you can do. And the thing is, you're the only person that can do it. No one can do it for you, right? What do you guys think? What do you guys think in the comments below? Like, I'm looking. I mean, of course, I think I think you're all worth it. No one's a better human than another person. Like, I'm not better than you. Like, I have arms and legs and a head. You know, I might have a beard. You might not have a beard, and you know, there's nothing I can do about that. But you're worth it. You know, we're all worth that healthy lifestyle. Right on, Oliver. Yeah, we're all worth it. But it just seems like the undertone is like you don't think that you're capable. But it's not that you don't think you're capable, because you see other human beings doing it. So, all right, you're a human, you know you could do it. I really do believe that. I think everyone thinks that, or deep down knows that you can do it, but that it's not worth it enough for you to do that effort. Like, you're not gonna ever be that person. And I just think it comes down to, I think it's a lot more than just, you know, being worth it from, you know, I think it comes down to more than just, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I believe in myself. You know, belief in yourself, I don't know. I mean, human beings copy each other all the time. If one person can do it, another person could potentially do it. Yeah, there's always gonna be like some people just do things better than others. You know, it's like talent and hard work, but it comes down to the hard work. But are you worth the hard work? Because time is currency, right? Time is money. And time is money in the sense that we only have a limited time in the world. Money's gonna come and go, but you know, the clock is ticking for all of us, so we're getting closer to the end point. And you know, are you worth spending that currency? Are you worth spending that money? Are you worth spending that time to do what a lot of us view as superficial, right? You know, it's like get abs or build muscle and, you know, get swole. That's not what it's all about. That's not what it's all about. It's not about the superficial. And leave that to society, leave that to marketing and stuff that makes it seem that fitness is superficial. It's not superficial. I mean, superficial just means the outside. I mean, anatomically, the muscles that you see, the biceps, the forearms, the deltoids, the pecs, those are called superficial muscles. Superficial muscles just means they're on the top. They're further out on the outside of the body than the deep muscles, right? That's the kicker. That's the difference. It's not that you can't do it. It's that you don't feel that you're worth the effort. You don't feel like you're worth the time. You don't feel like if you invest in yourself that it's worth it enough for your family. Like you're spending resources elsewhere when you should be doing A, B, and C. Instead, you're doing D and F. But that's the opposite. The A, B, and C is what you should be focusing on first. Fitness gets the A, B, C because without health, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what job you have. If you don't take care of yourself and take care of your physical being, then all the other stuff is real bullshit. And none of us, including myself, will fully understand that concept unless you experience it yourself. And some of you might have a loved one that's physically sick and physically unable, and you can see and you can hear and you can, you know, feel that in their presence, and you feel the difference, and you feel how they change from when they were young and healthy and, you know, and mobile. But everyone's gonna have their challenges. Everyone's gonna have challenges. We're all gonna have challenges, you know, with business and relationships and everything. But those challenges pale. Let me put this back up here. Those challenges pale in comparison to the challenges of trying to reverse major health concerns, you know, when it's too late. Because really, folks, you can't reverse some of these things. It's nice to be like, okay, well, you have tight hips, can you improve it? Sure, but after, it's one of the first things to go is mobility. The first things to go is range of motion. It's not about strength. You'll maintain strength a lot longer than you'll maintain mobility. So how many of you practice yoga? How many of you are actually taking what I say about yoga and mobility? How many of you have joined my live yoga group and actually fucking started doing it? How many of you are following in what I preach? You're not just like listening like, oh yeah, rah, rah. How many of you are actually fucking executing on it? How many of you are all talk? How many of you think that you're not worth it? Because it's gonna come down to the point where it's too late. It's gonna come down to the point where once you realize what you could have done, it's too late. And it's sad. It's sad the questions that I get. It's sad the questions that I get. It really is. It's sad the questions that I get. You know, I really hope to see a lot more of you in the live yoga group. I hope to see a lot more of you in the 90-day dash program. I hope to see a lot more of you in my premium group where all this stuff is accessible. You know, but I also hope just to hear these questions change. You know, I really hope to hear the tone behind these questions, even in text. I hope to hear the tone change and become more positive and come from a place where it's more personal worth. And it's really not that hard. It's just giving up some of these addictions that you don't think are addictions, right? It's giving up going to the movies rather than investing in some yoga classes. Like, that's how simple it is. You'd rather go see a stupid movie on a big screen and eat garbage food when the movie's gonna be out on Netflix in 2 weeks. You'll spend 30 or 40 bucks or $50, or if you have kids, you're spending $100 to the movie. You got better things to do. That's not your life. That's some escapism entertainment, which is fine once in a while, but that doesn't help you at all. It doesn't help you in the slightest. Quite the opposite, it hurts you. You know, no one wants to think about it. It's like, oh, it's entertainment. It's really, it's not. It's not. You know, you're being pushed something. You're like, this is what we do for fun in this country. Oh, let me go here. You're going there because someone's providing it for you. You know, what does your body want? What does your body need? You gotta go to that. What does your body require? You know, I've stepped back from the weights for the last few days. You know, I'm focusing on yoga. I'm not sure, like, part of me doesn't want to lift weights ever again. Part of me does. Part of me just like, fuck, I don't want to lift weights. It just tightens you up, makes you feel stiff and sore. You know, yoga is such a release. So you have to implement it. You really have to implement it. You'll see. And you won't know. You won't know until you start actually applying this stuff. So yeah, I just want to thank all of you for being a part of this community. I want to thank all of you for asking the questions. I think the questions are phenomenal. I don't want you to stop asking questions. I just want you to think about what is that base tone under the question, because I think that the self-worth and believing that you are worth the money and the time, in that sense, that kind of time currency. If you think of it in that way, you're more likely to put the effort in, and the trial and error and the relentless work, because it is relentless work. It's every day, no matter what it is. Whether you got to your body fat percentage, the next day comes. It's still a part of the process. And then, oh, I got to my next goal. The next day comes. Like, there's never a goal. It's always just going. It's ongoing. So shift your mind from thinking that there's an end point. There isn't. Your end point is the grave, is the ground, is the earth. That's your end point. So it's about thinking differently about your fitness, processing what you're doing and what your goal is differently, looking for the long term. Stop thinking for the aesthetic appeal. That will come. Doesn't mean you can't have that too. It just means your whole shift has to be for the big picture. And then those things make more sense. You have to go big picture. And then it makes a lot of things on the day-to-day easier to manage, easier to invest in, because you're looking for the long-term payoff, which is longer health, more mobility. Because remember, that's the thing that goes. I'm gonna rage this week. There's gonna be a lot of rage this week. And tomorrow in the premium workshop, it is going to be the systematic approach. I'm going to outline my systematic approach. I wanna talk about stuff in my gym bag, like equipment that I like to have around, the basics, things that I can't go without, the process on how I mentally approach my workouts and how I schedule my routine and how I adjust my routine. I'm gonna go over a lot of structural stuff, a lot of structural, systematic stuff tomorrow. And that's tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time for this week's workshop. It's going to be absolutely my foundational principles, like the things that I need to have in place and the way I think about my schedule in order to execute daily. Because it's not easy for me. I'm human. It's hard for me too. It's hard for me too. You know, it's hard for me to do it every day. It's hard for me to do this every day. It's hard for me. I do it. I do it with a smile on my face and I love it, but it's hard. All the stuff that I do, from fitness to business to relationship, it's hard. Whatever's hard for you is hard for me. It's hard. You know, it's tough. The beard helps. The hair helps. The glasses helps. The gains help. But it's hard. Life's hard. Or is it hard or is it just challenging? Or is it hard and challenging, or is it neither? And it's just how we look at it. You know, we think of it as challenging, but it's really not, right? It just is. Life is life, and then it just is. We gotta stop associating those words with it. So is it hard? Maybe not. I think it's just life across the board. And we just call it hard, but it's not. Why? 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 Why is it hard? Because it's different than sitting on a couch? Of course. You stick your neck out there. You go and you fucking meet people and you do stuff and you work hard and you work and you do physical activity. Like, yeah, it's gonna be sore. It's gonna feel challenging. Good. Good, you know? So anyway, you're worth it. Think about the words you use. Think about the approach you take with your fitness. Think about why you ask some of the questions that you ask me or other people. Think about what answers you're trying to really seek. And if you think about yourself and that you're worth it, those answers come a lot easier, in my truly honest opinion. So thank you so much for joining me for episode, whatever this is. What is it, 508, 509? For some reason, I can't remember what it was. But thank you so much for joining me for this episode of The Daily Swole, live every day at 12 noon Eastern Time, on Facebook, right here at Swolenormous, the most muscular Swolecast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Also can catch me on Instagram at Swolenormous and Snapchat. All these episodes and more on YouTube and SoundCloud and iTunes. So type in Swolenormous everywhere, and remember, link is in the description to join my private community, weekly workshops, and this workshop tomorrow is going to be very nitty-gritty. We can get the board out. We're gonna have the board and really gonna break down. Literally, I wanna talk about tools. I wanna talk about equipment. I wanna talk about the real important things. I wanna talk about the mental, psychological approach, things that I use, the way that I think about things in order to get my things done, because every day is challenging. And when you're not training, how are you thinking about it so you don't feel like you're falling behind? And how do you keep that kind of consistency over 20 years of training? Like, how do you keep it for that long? How do you stay active and focused? Because it's so easy to be active in high school and college and then fall off. So tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, premium workshop is going to be all about Papa Swole's systems. My systems, my equipment, what I use, what I can't live without, the mentality that I approach things, what I need to work on, maybe some pitfalls that you might find some similarities in, synonymous with your personal situation and struggles. We all have it. We all have it. We all have challenges. We all have things that come up that we have to deal with. But how we deal with it and how we react and how we think about in terms of our bigger picture is going to mean everything. Thank you so much for joining. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose. I'll talk to some of you premium peeps on the one-on-one calls in a few moments. And everyone, remember, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Thursday, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the premium workshop, Papa Swole's systems. It's gonna be awesome. This is really gonna get in. It's gonna get into really the psyche of how I approach fitness and what I really recommend for you if you are lost and trying to structure something on your own. So, love you. Peace, McGee's. Deuce, Magoose. Later, guys.